The clip, that means YouTube let it go through. If not, that means that was flagged. This is the story of R&B trio Toni, Toni, Toni. Toni, Toni, Toni were an American soul R&B group from Oakland, California, popular during the late 1980s and early to mid-90s. During the group's heyday, it was composed of Dwayne Wiggins on lead vocals and guitar, his brother Raphael Saadiq, born Charles Ray Wiggins on lead and bass, and their cousin Timothy Christian Riley on drums, keyboards, and background vocals. Originally, they went by Toni, Toni, Toni as a joke until they realized it had a nice ring to it. The three members grew up in Oakland when the city was a hotbed of funk and soul innovation. As a result, they brought their own records and dedicated to the old school melodic groove that stands out in the polished, machine-driven hip-hop era, playing their own instruments and singing harmonies modeled on their favorite soul artists' finest singles. The Tonys pleased both fans and critics and have managed to extend their audience beyond even impressive R&B followers. Though walking the line between continuing an honored tradition and purveying unabashed nostalgia has been a tricky task. The debut album, Who, produced and co-written by Denzel Foster and Thomas McElroy, was released in 1988. The album went gold and had several hit singles. The first of these, Little Walter, went to number 1 on the R&B charts. The next 3 singles, Born to Know, Baby Doll, and For the Love of You, were all top 10 R&B singles. Who was a modest success. It charted for 44 weeks on a Billboard Top Pop Albums chart, peaking at number 69. And produced 4 singles, including the R&B hit Little Walter. On December 5, 1989, the album was certified gold by the RIAA for shipments of 500,000 copies in the United States. As of August 1993, it has sold over 700,000 copies in the United States. Inspired by live instruments, turntables, and classic soul music, Toni, Toni, Toni recorded and produced their second album, The Revival, mostly themselves, and released it in 1990 to commercial success. Released on May 8, 1990 by Wing Records, The Revival charted for 64 weeks on the Billboard Top Pop Albums chart, peaking at number 34 on the chart. The album reached platinum status. It spawned several number 1 R&B hits with It Never Rains in Southern California, I Love That Song, Feels Good, The Blues, and Whatever You Want, all topping the R&B charts. Feels Good was the group's first single to reach the top 10 of the Billboard Hot 100 and went gold. It was released on June 19th and was certified gold on November 13th after it sold 500,000 copies that same year. The single topped the R&B chart for 2 weeks and reached number 9 on the Billboard Hot 100 in the fall of 90, going on to sell over 1 million copies. In late 90, the album's 4th single, It Never Rains in Southern California, became a number 1 R&B hit and also peaked at number 34 on the Hot 100. The Revival brought in the group's exposure to fans beyond their initial R&B audience. However, they became ambivalent about their newfound mainstream success and their music being labeled retro by critics. In an interview for People magazine, lead singer and bassist Raphael Saadiq expressed his dissatisfaction with the music industry, saying that every record company wants to get a group and put them in a Benz with a car, phone, and a beeper. Show them dressing in 3 different outfits, put them in a video shoot on a beach with lots of swinging bikinis. You won't ever see us on a beach. We're just down to earth, funky, like to play guys. Before considering a follow-up album, the group recorded several songs for film soundtracks, including Me and You for Boys in the Hood in 91, House Party, I Don't Know What You Came to Do for House Party 2 in 91, and Waiting on You for Poetic Justice in 1993. Having fulfilled their creative intentions with Revival, Toni, Toni, Toni wanted to pay homage to their musical influences with the album Sons of Soul. In a 1993 interview for the New York Times, Raphael elaborated on their direction for the album, stating that we're paying homage to a lot of older artists who paved the way for us, like The Temptations, Sly and the Family Stone, Earth, Wind and Fire. They're the people who inspired us when we were growing up. People like Aretha Franklin and James Brown. Toni, Toni, Toni took a hiatus as a group after the commercial and critical success of Sons of Soul. According to vocalist and bassist Raphael Wiggins, each member had pursued individual music projects, and the group was trying to figure out where everybody's time, space, and head was at. All 3 worked on songwriting and production for other recording artists during the group's hiatus, including D'Angelo, In Vogue, Karen White, Tevin Campbell, and A Tribe Called Quest. Raphael Wiggins adopted the surname Saadiq for his professional name in '94, which means man of his word in Arabic, and released his solo single Ask of You in 1995. The work outside the group led to rumors of breakup during the time between albums. Toni eventually reunited with each other and began recording House of Music in September 1995. In 96, they released their final studio album to date, House of Music. The album lacked the strong singles of their earlier songs, only getting Thinking of You and Let's Get Down into the top 10 on the R&B charts, with Thinking of You hitting number 22 on the Hot 100, though it eventually reached platinum status. Following the release of Sons of Soul, they were a part of the R&B supergroup Black Men United, along with Silk and H-Town. The song You Will Know appeared on the soundtrack for the movie Jason's Lyric in 1994. Raphael Saadiq released his first solo effort, the top 20 Billboard hit Ask of You, for the Higher Learning soundtrack in 95. Around the same time, he became a much sought-after R&B producer, scoring hits for D'Angelo, Toto, The Roots, and others. Later in the 2000s, he started a solo career, releasing 2 albums, Instant Vintage in 2002 and Ray Ray in 2004. He was replaced by Amir Khalil in the group. Regarding changing his surname to Saadiq for a solo career, February 2009, Raphael stated that he just wanted to have his own identity. Lucy Pearl was a supergroup formed in 1999 as the brainchild of Raphael Saadiq. The other members of Lucy Pearl were Don Robinson of En Vogue and Ali Saeed Muhammad of A Tribe Called Quest. They released their self-titled debut album in 2000. After 2 singles, Dance Tonight and Don't Mess With My Man, Don Robinson left and was replaced by Joy. The new lineup released the track Without You. The group departed shortly after, releasing no other material. In 2005, Dwayne Wiggins became the band leader for the Weekends at the DL TV show hosted by D.L. Hughley, which aired on the Comedy Central Network until 2006. Wiggins' solo album, Eyes Never Lie, sold a mere 150,000 copies. In 2003, members of Toni, except for Raphael, were invited by Alicia Keys to be guest artists on her album, The Diary of Alicia Keys. The song that resulted from that session was called Diary, released as a single in the fall of 2004. It gave them their first top 10 U.S. hit in 11 years and a nomination for the Best R&B Performance by a Duo or Group with Vocals at the 2005 Grammy Awards. Okay, y'all, thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe.